Good afternoon, everyone. This is Maurice from Triple M Model Railroad. And it looked like it's finally here. Scale Trains, Union Pacific, Steam Excursion Water Tenders set, post 2006. And I'm very excited this is here. I had received it about a week ago. Thank you, Scale Trains. And I've been waiting for these for a very long time. And me and my uncle had discussions about this in the past. Basically, certain prototypes from UP we've been looking for only came in basically in brass. And we wasn't willing to shell out like $500 just for one water tender. And you know, we was hoping somebody would come up with an idea to come up with this model. And Scale Trains, relatively new company. I believe the founders is one of the people from Athens, or actually one is two people from Athens, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but they decided to actually do something that no other plastic modeler have done, is to actually come out and actually produce a model of not just one but two water tenders. I mean, even though the water tenders are identical, the only difference is the road name and the flag, but that's about it. And they came out with these models, and it was like an answer to our prayers. I said, these guys, they're very smart. I have to give them credit where credit is due. They came out with something that no one else came out with. I think the only one that came out in plastic, these water tenders, were Cato, but it was only an N scale. And actually, my uncle had written to Cato and asking them, you know, whether or not they're going to come with a HO scale, and they denied, or they claimed they couldn't do it, or for some reason they weren't able to do it, or don't want to do it. I mean, I guess it's maybe too expensive. You gotta remember, Cato is a small family run company, so it would be very difficult to get this type of equipment with the precision and scale without them coming away over here to the States and actually do a survey of the prototypes. The beauty about Scale Trains, they're here in America, and you know, they can get whatever American prototypes they can actually go after. It'd be much easier compared to a company in Japan. But I'm rambling. So, you know, this is just a simple unboxing. Nothing too extravagant. Again, there are two people that are actually going to do this. I mean, they have already done a review, extensive review, and I believe I mentioned them before, Jay Willie and a gentleman from TSG Multimedia done extensive reviews on this. So if you're looking for that, a good extensive review, I would suggest looking at those videos. Well, no further ado, and I'm going to open these up and we'll take a look. As I open the box, the first thing you're greeted with is the instructions, and also what you get with the model is they supply 2 pens and a business card, which was actually very nice of them to do. And basically the instructions tell you about the history, and it also breaks down the model. I have the schematics of the model. Try to hold the camera straight so you can see. And I got the fan blowing, so that doesn't help. But anyway. Okay, you get a full schematic of every part that's basically on the model. I mean, which is pretty good. the wind take that over, and I'll put this on the side. And let me take the padding off. And this is it. Now, this is not the first time that I actually opened the box. When I first got it, I, took a peek. I didn't take the models out of its packaging or anything, so it's nicely packaged, as you can see. Firm inserts. The packaging is very similar to how Athearn packaged their stuff. Which is pretty good. So let's take it out of the packaging and take a closer look. Okay, here's the models on the track. Both Jim Adams and Joe Jordan. Water Tenders, and I have to say these models are fantastic looking. Now, I did have a slight problem with Jim Adams, where Jim Adams had a problem with the brake wheel. Brake wheel, basically the mechanism, it was broken off for some reason, and I just simply glued it back on. It wasn't much of an issue, and basically that was it. I have waited for these tenders for so long, for someone to actually come out with these tenders in plastic. And Scale Trains basically nailed it, hit the ball out of the park with this one. They were actually thinking for once, compared to the other manufacturers. Not to knock them so much, but they basically wanted to come out with something different, something that no one had done before in plastic, and that was a very smart move, in my opinion. As opposed to buying these models in brass, one of these will cost the minimum of $500 in brass. And definitely I would not buy this, pay $500 just for some rolling stock. And for 120 bucks for two, you definitely cannot go wrong. I mean, the models look like brass models. They're so well done. I mean, the detail is impeccable. I mean, really, these people really did their work. And I do thank for Scale Trains and the people who basically set this up, built the models. I mean, I know it's not easy work to do such fine work. But I do thank these people for doing such a great job. This takes an incredible amount of patience and time. I mean, I can't stop staring at these things. It's kind of ridiculous, but yeah, I mean, even the bearing caps roll, which is quite fantastic in my opinion. I mean, again, there's other people that have done some in-depth reviews. I believe Jay Willie did one, and another gentleman, his site is TSG Multimedia. He also done a review on this particular model, and they both got very good reviews. Mine's, I mean, everything comes with maybe some sort of problem, and the only problem with this was basically the brake wheel was it was dislodged off the Jim Adams model, and it was just a simple fix, simple, a little touch of Tesla's canopy glue, and the part just went right back on without an issue, and it's basically not an issue. I mean, when you're dealing with these models, you're going to run into problems. I mean, sometimes you get, you get unlucky and you get one that, you have a problem with. But in most part, these things can be fixed. This one I fixed myself was really easy, and it's good to be a modeler. I mean, I've been a modeler for a very long time. I used to be into model planes and used to build those, and I still have a couple of them in the closet, which I plan to actually build someday when I have the time and space. And when you live in the hood and you got 4 or 5 other people living with you, you have very limited space. So it is what it is for now, until I can get myself together and get a better place, and I will have the room to actually do what I need to do. Yeah, just looking over this model, I'm just really amazed by its quality. Okay, enough gawking at this. I have again, tongue-tied. I have brought out my Challenger, and I'm probably going to mate it with that. This Challenger, it's basically a, if I can get my thoughts together, it's basically an MTH model, and I believe I never shown this model, but it's a Greyhound, number 3977 is one of my favorite models. I do have 4014 of the big boy, but I thought that would be nice to show it with this, but it's actually the older version of the big boy. It's not the new one. It will fit perfectly, but I wanted to do something a little different. I just decided to bring the Greyhound out. Greyhound is very similar to, what's that, 3985, and basically just in gray. And plus the tender is just a little bit different compared to the older version of the oil burning, the oil and water tender. But I will mate it with this and probably running back and forwards again. Very limited space. I know some people will be wondering, oh, why you film on your bed? This is what it is. I mean, it's just a little showcase, that's all it is. I mean, when my uncle's layout is basically finished, or actually not finished, but we can actually run some stuff around without much impedance, we can show these models off. My uncle has these too, and a good friend of his also. Actually, he's one of our partners for Triple M. He joined in not too long ago, and yeah, I know I'm rambling on, but all right. Let's get to it. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is the lights. The lights are very well done. I mean, they look, in my opinion, prototypically accurate. I mean, if I can get the camera to work properly, yes. I'm filming on my camera phone, by the way. I didn't feel like bringing out the other, my other camera, the real camera. And actually, this films in the dark or in less light better than my camera, which is surprisingly. This phone, which is the Galaxy 6, Galaxy 6 Plus. This one has a feature where it actually films very well at low light. So actually it's kind of dark in my room, and I'm looking at the screen. The screen, as you can see, it looks very light. The colors look light and rich. And then in actual life, my eyes are looking at the model itself. It's pretty dark. So this is very impressive. The light function is a normal light function, and it's set to address 3. You will have to program these to whatever engine you're going to run them on. From what I've read and heard, they have lock sound decoders in them for the lighting, which is a smart choice. So yeah, the lights look really good. It looks really, really, really fine. It has that yellow amberish look to it. It's not that blue light. I mean, most people have done away with those blue lights. I mean, they got, most of these modelers are actually got wise to it, and lights are not blue, they're amber. So again, these models are fantastic. I mean, my hat's off to Scale Trains. They will get my money in the future. And speaking of future, there's a couple of things I want to get from them, and I'm trying to save my little pennies trying to get them. That is the GT EL, the Big Blow, and that's another model I've been waiting for next to forever. Since I got back into modeling, I've really wanted that particular model in plastic, and no one has done it in plastic as far as I know. And when I found out these people are actually doing it in plastic, I mean, I almost flipped out. I was so excited about it, and it's finally coming to fruition. It's a lot of money, but I think it's worth it. I mean, compared to, shoot, talking a lot of money. A brass model will cost anywhere between $2,500 to $3,500 for that model, and this one for $700, I think it's $750 or something to that extent. I mean, man, you get a lot for your money. You basically get a brass model in plastic. It's done so good. I mean, if this is any indication of what is the respect of the Big Blow, they're gonna knock this out of the park. Again, this is done so flipping well, and most likely the Big Blow is gonna be the same thing. I'm trying to remember what number I ordered. I think I ordered number 27. Now, a lot of people I know, they ordered the ones that's still existing, but I wanted, again, being different. I mean, I thought about getting 26. I think it's 26 and 18, if I'm not mistaken, are the ones that are on display at these museums. But yeah, I'm planning to get that 27. 27 is actually, I like that number for some reason. I don't know. That's why I picked it. And I got the, what they call the rivet version, and that's why it's so much money and this and that. I thought about getting the other one too, the cheaper one, but I mean, sure, I'm not rich like that, so even $750 is a lot of money for me. And also, I actually have on the shelf something from Broadway Limited, and that would be a steam engine. I know you ask, okay, what steam engine mode? You just say steam engine. Well, the steam engine I'm planning to get is the S2, and the S2 turbine, to be more exact. I mean, that is, I've seen the model in person, and it's an awesome flipping steam engine. I'm not crazy about the sound. The sound kind of weird, but I mean, it's a turbine. I don't know how accurate the sound is. I never heard a turbine before, and I don't know if the ones that actually made the model actually heard anything or got any reference. So I don't know how they did it, but yeah, the model is basically, I mean, if you've seen videos of it online, it's one of the best models that Broadway Limited had made. And yeah, that's another thing I have to obtain, and that's going to be some serious cheddar. I mean, between the big blow and that's a lot of money. Yeah, but I think it's worth it. I mean, especially as a brass model, so I can't wait to see it. Well, I can't wait to get it. Not just see it, but I can't wait to get it. You know, I probably have a series, not a series, but a video on the 4 hybrids I have from Broadway Limited. You know, but okay, I've been rambling. I wasn't expected to ramble, but yeah. So I'm going to make these up with my Challenger, and I'll do a little run by. I tried my best to try to, you know, film it. I mean, there's not much track, and the train is sitting over here in the distance. It looks far away, but it really isn't. It's really very close. So it has just the camera. So without further ado, I'll put these together and take it from there. Okay, I have brung this engine out just to show off the model of the tenders mated with the steam engine. Of course, it looks good. Yeah, this engine haven't seen the light of day in about 2 years. And I did a little running last night, you know, back and forwards, just to, you know, stretch his legs a little bit. Give the smoke unit some, a little exercise, you may call it. Because after a while, the motor on these MTH smoke units, they actually become very loud after time, especially if you haven't used it. And this one was making a large whining sound, which was kind of annoying. And the thing is, I can't actually move the engine with the smoke unit on. And that is because of the amperage draw these things have. Currently, I'm using a lock-style programmer to power the track, and it, for some reason, it doesn't like MTH's. It doesn't work well with MTH's. I'll put it to you that way. MTH draws a lot of power, and as soon as I move the engine, it cuts off. I guess it's some sort of safety feature that it doesn't blow itself up, you know, if too much power goes to it. So I have to run it without moving the engine. Excuse me, I have to run the smoke unit without moving the engine. But I mean, I never did a review of this model. I mean, I did some runnings of my uncle's with some of our older videos. I never really had a chance to run them. I mean, run this particular model. Actually, I did a video of this once, and it was with my old Evo phone and it didn't come out well at all. And I was running it on my table, which is actually a much shorter distance than what this little track I have put up here. And I never posted it because due to the poor quality of the video. But here it is, all its glory. I had this model for, I think, 5 years. About 5 years, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe a little bit more. This is actually the first run that MTH came out with this Challenger. I mean, excellent model. I mean, it runs very well. And I had very little problems with it, knock on wood. I just really, really like this model. And if it's a little blurry, I apologize. These things are not perfect. Let's run it back and forth and see what happens. If it cuts out, sometimes it does that. I don't know, for some reason this thing acts a little silly. Again, the issue doesn't, stuff doesn't run well. So, with MTH stuff. So I'm going to back this up. Do a little juggling here. Let's go forward. See if I can zoom in onto the bearing caps. If you can see it rolling. That's pretty flippin' cool. One thing I have to say about the rolling resistance, these models have a slight resistance. I kind of suspected that with the rolling bearing caps, but that's okay. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not going to impede your running of your engines or rolling stock, anything like that. I mean, that is to be expected due to the design of how the wheels rolls on the trucks. I don't know how they managed to do it. Don't want to know right away, which requires taking this thing apart to see how it works. Definitely don't want to do that. I want to keep these models as virgin as possible. These are just amazing. Also, they coming out with some safety chains, a set. I plan to order those and put those on the model. That should be a nice addition to these. So, without further ado, I mean, this video is much longer than what I anticipated, but I think it's worth it. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And again, this is Maurice from the Triple M Model Railroad. Have a good afternoon, and thank you for watching.